Y'all, y'all, y'all ready for this? Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Rev Trev, and today we're going to be diving into the Packers versus Vikings. Big game. Hey, Vikings fans, you're next. Hey, listen, who doesn't like a little bit of Goldberg, right? This game means a lot because we had some Christmas miracles that took place, man. It was going on. We needed all kinds of help. As we know, we need to win out and get some help. Everyone who needed to lose lost games this Christmas. We saw Christmas miracles, and then we play the Dolphins and do our best to keep the hope alive for the playoff push. Now, listen, not only are we doing really well as a team and had some Christmas miracles, but we're now on a 3-game winning streak. Now, I know what you Viking fans are going to say. Oh, yeah, big deal. You beat the Bears, you beat the Rams, and you beat the Dolphins. That's nothing to be excited about. Well, when you have a bad record like we do, we'll take anything. But our rebuttal to you would be, yeah, in the last 3 games, you're 2-1. You lost to the Lions, and then you only beat the Colts by 3. You beat the Giants on a last-second field goal. You're not going to win a trophy on that. I'm going to address 4 questions today in this video. The number 1 is, are the Vikings frauds? Number 2 is, what about week 1? Number 3 is being at Lambeau Field going to be the difference maker this week? And number 4 is, what is going to be the score? Who's going to win this game on Sunday? If you have not hit that like and subscribe button yet, I encourage you to smash that likes button and subscribe so you can have more great Packers content. I also do fantasy football. If you're in the finals this week, you need to go watch my video right now. It is very, very good about how you can win your league championship. All right, let's get into these questions. So let's dive into the very first question. Are the Vikings frauds? Now, I know Vikings fans, you are getting so sick and tired of hearing this question because not only is the NFC North talking about this, but the whole league is asking this question. They've been confused at the wins and at just the ways that you're struggling. But here's the thing, your record is amazing. I mean, as a Packers fan, I wish this is what we normally do every year, is to get all these wins. But you guys have been incredible record-wise. You've been finding ways to win the game. And we know that Jefferson has been an elite wide receiver stud. He's been incredible. His receptions, his receiving yards, top-notch, best in the league, right? But then who else? Who else has been good for you? Who else can you say has been at an elite level? We know that Dalvin Cook has been having a good year. Not a great year, but a good, really good year. He's a good running back. Your run game's been solid. But here's the thing. Kirk Cousins, he's been playing well, but he's also not had his best statistical year that he's had in even like last year. And so what is it that's kind of having people ask this question? It comes down to your defense. And the defense has been below average in the NFL. I mean, Vikings fans have been worried. Now, Vikings fans, as you're watching this and you're angry about what I just said, am I not right? Aren't you worried about your defense? Haven't you been frustrated watching this defense? And I know they sometimes come up with some big play or moment just to keep them in the game. But when you get to the playoffs, aren't you a little bit worried about who you're going to be facing? And you know, Minnesota is 31st in yards per play allowing. They're the second worst team in the league. But again, like I just said, they're finding ways to win, and I don't care what happens. We all know that in the playoffs, you have to find ways to win. It doesn't have to be beautiful, doesn't have to be a blowout. It can be an ugly win, and you can win the game and move on. And so to answer this question, if the Vikings are frauds or not, it actually can't be answered this Sunday or in the regular season. It's only going to be answered in the playoffs this year. And then we're going to find out if people are right about their assessment. It depends on who the Vikings do play and if they win those big moments in those big games. And so if they don't end up getting that number one seed and they go after, they have to go play some of those wild card teams, and somebody like, I want to play this team, I want to play that team. Well, it doesn't matter. Whoever you face, and you got to win in those moments. And so in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. And so are the Vikings frauds? I can't answer that question yet, and we're going to find out. But Peter Bukowski from the Locked On Packers podcast. In fact, I think he's one of the best, if not the best, Packers content out there. He is going on record to say that the Vikings are frauds, and he starts quoting stats and facts, and I know that he's stirring up the hornet's nest right before the game. He thinks the Packers are going to win this game because that the Vikings are frauds. And listen, I'm not saying he's not wrong. I'm just saying I can't make that decision yet because I don't think we can say that in the regular season. But you should check out his podcast and just listen to the arguments he makes. They are really, really valid. Okay. So the second question is, what about week one? Now, we know that the Vikings destroyed the Packers in week one, 23-7. Now, when I say that, it felt like it was more than that, right? It feels like it was a 35 to 3 win or something like that. But no, it was only 27 or 23-7, and the Packers only scored 1 touchdown in the third quarter. The Vikings dominated in many aspects of the game. The Packers looked like a mess because we were a mess at the time. The wide receivers looked awful, and it was definitely one of those games where we would like to forget, but it happened, right? But in 2021, in week one, we lost to the New Orleans Saints 38-3. We went on after that to go win the division. We won 13 games. So it doesn't matter what happens in week one. What it matters is what we do now, and we're in this position now. So Jair Alexander was not on Justin Jefferson hardly in that first game. Nobody knows why. Makes no sense. That better be an adjustment that comes in going into this game, or else we're going to get in trouble, because Justin had 184 yards receiving against us and a touchdown. That was the game where Christian Watson hit the long burner, 70 yards, dropped it. Should have had a touchdown there in the first drive. Dillon didn't get in the end zone on that 4th and 1 play. And the Vikings looked good. And the Packers looked, like I said, a hot mess. But can I tell you something? That was 3 months ago. So let's dive into the third question, is will playing in Lambeau Field be the difference maker? Now, let's talk about this week. Not just about 3 months ago. Can the Vikings beat the Packers at Lambeau Field? That's a good question. They definitely want to, but here's the thing about it. The weather isn't going to be that bad. It's not going to be that much in our favor that it's going to make a huge difference. The Vikings are going to try to run the ball like they always try to do with us. We always have a difficult time running the ball. Apparently they do too. So hope Jones is healthy and Dillon can just run the ball down their throat as well. And our passing defense will be tested as well against this incredible Vikings core. So now that it's in Lambeau, though, nothing like being at home in a big game. It's nice to have your crowd behind you. But over the last 5 weeks, think about this for a moment. The Packers have had the number 1 pass defense in the last 5 weeks. In fact, just stop there for a moment. Just think about that. The number 1 pass defense in the last 5 weeks, according to DVOA. So we also have a top 5 offense, a top 5 special teams in the last 5 weeks. Now, some of you are like, oh, big deal, depends on who you play. Listen, that's a massive turnaround for us. That from where we were to where we are now, it's a huge plus. And so these are some amazing things that we need to consider. And so maybe not Lambeau will be the difference maker, but the way we're playing and in front of our own crowd, it will make a difference. So let's end this video with the big question: who's going to win this game? Because this is a really, not only a division game, a rival game, but this is a game that has so much implications. The Packers need to win this to keep the hopes alive to go to Detroit next week. right? And that is, and even with the Vikings, for example, the Vikings really want to win this game. They got to keep in step with the Eagles. They don't want to lose ground on the 49ers. There's all kinds of things that absolutely matter about winning this game. And plus they just want to beat us and kick us out of the playoffs and just like get that over with. Now, the Packers, they've got to win this game. Our backs are against the wall. We're the season's on the line, but the king of the NFC North is coming to town, is not coming to town, is in town, and he is wanting to build on his legacy. Now is a great time. Even though he's struggled, he's had a difficult time this year. He's been off, is what I like to call it. He's not his normal self, but Watson and Dobbs want to continue to build their confidence and be names that people recognize, right? This defense wants to have good revenge. The team wants revenge from week one, right? So, plus we're trying to make the playoffs. So this is so exciting. I can't wait. If the Vikings lose, it could complicate scenarios for Minnesota. And if the Vikings win, then the Packers are eliminated, then we're going to be playing Jordan Love next week against the Lions. And so there's so much to this game. If the Packers win, though, we go into Detroit. And we're looking again for some payback. We're looking to make the playoffs. There's so much going in our favor. So it's going to be awesome to see what happens in the playoff hunt. But imagine if the Packers make the playoffs and they got to play the Vikings in the playoffs again. And that's going to be an awesome wild card game. That would be so incredible. So what's the prediction going to be? I think it's going to be really close. I think it's going to be 24 Packers, 23 Vikings. And what do you think the score would be? Post it in the comments. But all I know is, Vikings, you're next. Go, Pack, go.
Y'all ready for this?